If I could use one word to describe Titanfall 2, it would be improved. It has been more than 2 years since the last game released, and to prepare for the official release, here is a review of the pre-alpha covering everything you need to know about Titanfall 2. One thing you should know before watching this is that I have not watched any reviews of the pre-alpha, so this review is completely unbiased and entirely my opinion. Let's get right into it. Titanfall 2 does what the original did and masters it. The already established movement system has been improved to new heights. It feels more intuitive than the likes of the Call of Duty franchise. Speaking of the movement system, if you had paid any attention to this year's E3, Respawn acted as if its new feature, the grappling hook, was a huge part of the new game, when actually, playing the pre-alpha, a lot of fans were disappointed to hear that this was not the case. It is in fact part of one of the different classes in Titanfall 2. Not everyone gets this new way of travel. I would have liked to see them fix this in the second week of the alpha, but it is truly just game design. As with the new classes, in the pre-alpha we were able to choose from 3 game modes. The first one is Pilot vs. Pilot. It is more of a traditional team deathmatch that is oriented toward a specific audience that doesn't want to deal with the giant 30-foot mechanized robots, more in line with Call of Duty. There is also Amped Hardpoint, which is the traditional capture the objective points around the map. The one game mode that stood out to me was Bounty Hunt. For this mode, you get a certain amount of money for each pilot kill or Titan kill, but get killed and your bonus is taken away. This gives tension to the match, especially when you are just about to cash in what you've earned and suddenly lose half of your bounty because you didn't check behind you. It's a rewarding game mode. It's an excellent addition to the Titanfall franchise and is definitely one of my favorite game modes in an FPS so far. New weapons were also implemented into the game, such as the CAR, acting as a consistent recoil SMG, and the EPG-1, a gun that shoots a single energy-propelled round. But the main weapon you'll see me use in this video is the improved R201 carbine assault rifle, improved over the R101C from the original Titanfall. This is Titanfall's signature gun that started it all. On the map side of things, we had 3 choices. Boomtown, a city map with tight streets and a dense overall feel, not unlike Nexus from the first Titanfall. It has enough room for Titans, but can get pretty hectic, especially when everyone gets a mech by the end of the match. Homestead, a very wide open map set in a valley with lots of grass and a perfect circle around the center tower of the map. To be completely honest, this one felt out of place for the overall feel of Titanfall. With little places to wall run and no places to hide, it felt more like a battlefield match. And finally, Forward Base Kodai, an excellent desert area with an original feel to it. With a base in the middle of the map being used as a fortress for pilots, the outskirts in the map are oriented toward the cinematic Titan battles. And of course, what would be Titanfall without the Titans? Adding on to the old roster with new ideas and weapons, in the pre-alpha players were greeted with the Ion class Titan, which has an energy cannon that can split its beam, an ion cannon, and a large chest repulsor, kinda like Iron Man has. I also get roasted here with it. The Scorch class is the second type of Titan, equipped with a slow-to-reload explosive canister round that does deal a lot of damage, as well as gas grenades that you can light on fire to devastate opponents. Scorch can also ground pound so hard that the result of the trail of fire slowly dissolves enemy shields. The rest of the Titans will be playable at launch, but the one I'm most looking forward to is a sword-based Titan named Ronin. New additions to combat included is the ability to rip out an enemy Titan's core. Instead of shooting the so-called brains of the Titan from the first game, removing this will take a chunk out of the enemy Titan's health. What can you do with those energy cores? Once removed from an enemy Titan, you can help a teammate out by putting the core in their Titan back. It's a really cool innovation, and I actually like this system better. Titanfall has always done something different, and saying that Titanfall 2 still impresses just as much as the first game would be a complete understatement. Although I've heard some negative comments online, I'd have to say I really haven't had any huge problems with it. The second week of testing worked flawlessly. The Titanfall 2 pre-alpha was a continuous pleasure to play, and it's really what Titanfall is meant to be consistently: fun. There is one complaint to make in the pre-alpha stage that I know cannot be fixed by launch, and that is the style of the overall presentation. What happened to the grit of the first game? The original tint is different, and the sequel has changed that to a much brighter tone. But this is the game's aesthetic that the developers made when designing this game. But I personally think it feels a bit off from the original. Overall, the changes that Titanfall made to the first-person shooter that define this game have not been left behind. The sequel stays true to what made the first game great: the fast-paced action. The balance of the game is perfect, giving it a very David and Goliath feel. Titanfall is back, new, improved, and overall it has me going back to the original to kill time for the full release on October 28th. I can't wait to see this brand new single-player campaign that Respawn keeps bragging about. So guys, I'm really excited for this game. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, stand by for Titanfall.